Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, thank you for joining me on this monologue. Honestly, I was supposed to actually be with Barrister Austin Manta. For those of you who have been our regular viewers, definitely most times, if not all the time, most of the times actually. Always have Barrister Austin Manta, who we may call him a guest, but we run this show together. He didn't join me today because I think there is an issue with his device. His system has an issue. We're supposed to be online, but he's has a video. I think the video is not. I don't know. Something is really wrong with a software issue. All right. That being said, I shall be running the show all by myself today. So thank you once again for joining me. My name is JIBRIN. This is my angle, and I shall be talking about several stuff. Just hang on as I go through some of the stuff that we have today. Okay. Let's start with this is politics actually. Now, I came across this news article. Was it a day or two ago or whatever about El-RUFAI'S son? Let me read this article briefly. The heading says, "I told my father to help me. Apologize to him. I am wise. Now I am wise now. Bello El-RUFAI regrets criticizing Jonathan." All right, let me read a little of the article. Okay, it says the lawmaker representing Kaduna North Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Bello El-RUFAI, has expressed regret for criticizing the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Now, in the first place, honestly, I didn't even know El-RUFAI'S son is in active politics. Not to talk of being a House of Rep member. I didn't know that this is news. It was new when I read it. It was news to me, actually. All right, read on. Reports that Bello, son of former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-RUFAI, in an interview on Channels Television on Thursday, admitted that he was naive in his criticism of Jonathan. He said that his naivety prevented him from realizing that there was governance in the country during Jonathan's administration. The All Progressive Congress APC lawmaker noted that he realized his naivety in criticizing Jonathan after his father told him about going to visit Jonathan for political talks. He said, "I visited my father after I became a member, and I saw him wearing a polo shirt, and I said, 'Where are you going?' And he said he was going to see President Jonathan. And I paused because when I was naive, or when I thought ego or gratification mattered, I used to be very active in criticizing President Jonathan. Quote, I even forgot in my naivety, as many young people do, that we had governance then, and I found my father saying that he is going to consult President Jonathan. I said, please, when you see him, tell him I am very sorry. I am wiser now." Okay. Okay, let me read this quote. Continue with the quote. "The system is a problem. Now, why did I mention President Jonathan? It takes a lot, particularly in Africa, to lose an election and leave. He did that." Okay. All right. Probably he gave his reason why he criticized him. Okay, probably because one of the reasons, if not the reason, why he's apologizing to Jonathan is probably for criticizing him, probably because Jonathan actually relinquished power voluntarily. He didn't fight back. All right. Honestly, I criticized Jonathan when he was, in fact, I was an ardent critic of Jonathan from the beginning to the end. I never liked Jonathan, not as a person. Generally, I don't even like quiet people, but that's not why I didn't like Jonathan then. I never liked Jonathan because I saw him as a weak person. I really, really have phobia for weak people. I just don't. I, for naturally, I just don't like weak people, especially when it has to do with leadership. I detest weak people having to, or weak people that are saddled with the responsibility to lead, because I know so many things will go wrong, obviously, and that was exactly what happened during that Jonathan's administration. So I was very, very strong. For those of some people, some of you who probably have followed me on social media over the years, I wrote articles, I wrote comments, I so many things against. I was very, very aggressive in the criticism. Naturally, I'm a very aggressive. The moment you are not doing anything right, I always come at you with everything that I've got. So that was exactly what happened during Jonathan. And I don't know why this guy is regretting what he did, what he said, or what the criticism against Jonathan. I don't know. Probably he criticized Jonathan for personal or sentimental reasons. Because if your criticism was actually based on objectivity and principles, you shouldn't have a regret. Whatever you are doing, if you are doing something in sincerity, out of the sincerity of your heart, and you are genuine about it, you are passionate and enthusiastic about it, not being sentimental, you should have no reason. You should have no regret, rather. So anyone that is coming back to say sorry for because I criticized you, but because due to my naivety, my past naivety, that means in the first place you were being stupid. You are being stupid and foolish. That's just it. So you didn't know what you were doing. Basically, okay, that's the apology you should be rendering. That you were stupid. You didn't know what you were doing. So you criticize Jonathan based on sentiments. So sorry for criticizing him based on sentiment. That's exactly what I expected from this young man to do. So because I was an ardent critic of Jonathan, I still remain. Everything I said about Jonathan, every criticism I rained on Jonathan then was cogent, was objective, was based on principles and sincerity. So I have no regrets. What I said about Jonathan then, how I viewed Jonathan then, still remains. It is still the same. I do not have my thoughts, my opinion of Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, has not changed. Not even iota, it still remains the same. If Jonathan tries to come back today, I will remember, I will bring out all the criticism then. I will visit him with all those criticism of the past. I still see him as a very weak man. Everything I said about Jonathan was, so I have no regrets. He was, in the first place, even though I supported Buhari, regrettably, and unfortunately, I supported him. After about 2 years, but after the support, he became president. 2 years, I actually reneged that. I apologized for supporting him because I saw him differently. I viewed him differently from what we experienced in his presidency. I'm talking about Buhari. So if Jonathan had performed well, if you weren't that corrupt, if you weren't corrupt and weak, and allowed ministers to go amok his government by being corrupt. In Jonathan's regime, basically we had super corrupt ministers who were just running amok of the entire system, looting and fleecing Nigeria, to the extent that majority of them are even richer than Jonathan, who was the president then and who is still president. I bet you someone like Desiane, Jonathan is not as rich, half rich as Desiane. And this where Desiane was a petroleum minister under him. So I have no criticism. I have no regrets. Jonathan is just one of the worst. It's not the worst. Tinubu right now is the worst president we've ever had. Jonathan is on the list of among the worst presidents Nigeria ever had. So I have no regrets again. I don't know. So that is just my take on this.